Hope in the future gives power in the present, really captures something fundamental about human motivation and resilience. Let us dive deep into this concept, the psychology of future-oriented hope. Hope, at its core, is more than just wishful thinking. It's a cognitive and emotional framework that bridges our present circumstances with our envisioned future. Psychologist Charles Snyder's hope theory identifies three key components: goals, what we want to achieve; pathways, how we plan to get there; and agency, our belief that we can make it happen. When we have something meaningful to work toward, we're essentially creating a psychological anchor that gives our current actions purpose and direction. This forward-looking hope acts as a powerful motivational force because it transforms abstract possibilities into concrete objectives. When you wake up each morning with a clear sense of what you're building toward, whether it's a career milestone, a personal relationship, a creative project, or a contribution to your community, every small action becomes part of a larger narrative. That morning coffee isn't just caffeine, it's fuel for the work that moves you closer to your goal. That difficult conversation isn't just conflict, it's a necessary step in building something better. The neurological foundation of goal-directed behavior. From a neuroscientific perspective, having future goals literally rewires our brains for success. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning and decision-making, becomes more active when we're working towards specific objectives. Meanwhile, the brain's reward system releases dopamine not just when we achieve our goals, but also when we make progress toward them. This creates a positive feedback loop where the act of working toward something meaningful becomes inherently rewarding. Research has shown that people with clear, long-term goals demonstrate better emotional regulation, higher stress tolerance, and greater overall life satisfaction. They're more likely to persist through setbacks because each obstacle is viewed not as a dead end, but as a temporary challenge on the path to something greater. This is the power in the present that hope provides. It transforms our relationship with difficulty from victimhood to agency. Historical examples of hope-driven achievement. Throughout history, the most remarkable human achievements have emerged from individuals and societies that maintained hope in seemingly impossible futures. Consider the civil rights movement, where leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. drew strength from a vision of racial equality that seemed distant and improbable. The famous "I have a dream" speech wasn't just rhetoric, it was a blueprint for action that gave millions of people a reason to endure hardship, organize communities, and persist through decades of struggle. Similarly, scientific breakthroughs often require researchers to work for years or even decades toward discoveries that may never materialize. Marie Curie spent years isolating radium under dangerous conditions, driven by the hope that her work would advance human understanding of the natural world. The Wright brothers invested countless hours and resources into the seemingly impossible dream of human flight. In each case, hope in a future possibility provided the energy and determination needed to overcome present obstacles. The practical application in daily life. On a more personal level, having something to work toward creates structure and meaning in our daily routines. Without future-oriented goals, life can feel aimless and reactive. We respond to immediate pressures and pleasures without a larger sense of direction. But when we're actively building towards something, every day becomes an opportunity to make progress. This doesn't mean every goal needs to be grandiose or world-changing. The key is that it should be personally meaningful and require sustained effort over time. It might be learning a new language, training for a marathon, building a business, strengthening family relationships, or developing a creative skill. The specific goal matters, less than the fact that it pulls you forward and gives your present actions significance. The compound effect of consistent progress. One of the most powerful aspects of working toward future goals is how small, consistent actions compound over time. When you're learning to play piano, each practice session might feel insignificant. You're still making mistakes, still struggling with difficult passages, but hope in your future musical ability gives you the motivation to show up day after day. 6 months later, you're playing pieces that once seemed impossible. This compound effect applies to virtually every area of life. Relationships deepen through countless small interactions. Careers advance through accumulated skills and experiences. Physical fitness improves through regular exercise. Financial security builds through consistent saving and investing. In each case, hope in the future outcome provides the motivation to persist through the often mundane work of daily improvement, overcoming present challenges through future vision. Perhaps most importantly, having something to work toward gives us a framework for interpreting present difficulties. Instead of seeing setbacks as evidence that we should give up, we can view them as temporary obstacles on the path to our goals. This shift in perspective is transformative. It changes us from victims of circumstance to active agents in our own lives. When you're working towards something meaningful, even failure becomes valuable data rather than a reason for despair. Each setback teaches you something about what doesn't work, bringing you closer to discovering what does. This resilience isn't just psychological, it's practical. People who maintain hope in future possibilities are more likely to seek creative solutions, ask for help when needed, and persist through the inevitable challenges that accompany any worthwhile endeavor. The ripple effect on others. Finally, when we're actively working toward meaningful goals, we inspire others to do the same. Hope is contagious. When people see someone pursuing their dreams with dedication and persistence, it reminds them of their own unrealized potential. This creates a positive cycle, where individual hope contributes to collective progress. This insight about hope giving power to the present is profound because it recognizes that the future isn't something that happens to us, it's something we actively create through our present choices and actions. By always having something meaningful to work toward, we transform ourselves from passive observers of life into active participants in shaping our destiny. That transformation is perhaps the greatest source of power we can access in our daily lives. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated for more inspiring content. You can also leave a comment and share the video so that we could reach and inspire more people. Thank you, and to God be all the glory.